Just a real quick market update for you guys because Bitcoin has been a little bit volatile lately. I just want to point out a few levels that I'm personally watching right now. You can see that in this current trade range we've had, just on the hourly chart here, so nothing too significant but just for the medium term here. We had these two levels in this range where we actually got some kind of a reaction to the upside, even though we haven't been getting all too much of follow through with that. But even if we drop these levels, we do actually have this downward sloping purple support line potentially, which may be some kind of a falling wedge, which would be a continuation bullish pattern actually. But obviously we're going to have to see how and when we end up hitting that level. If we even get to that level, will it be respected a third time? It's hard to say. Actually, just looking at it, just at a quick glance here, I'm almost looking at it like a bit of a parallel channel, which could be some kind of a bull flag. That's actually pretty bang on there. So we're going to have to see how this ends up playing out. Definitely just something to watch. That just caught my eye right now, so I don't know how much weight I'm going to give to that at this point, but it looked pretty nice. If we do end up dropping these levels, I just assume that it would be quite a fairly straight shot downwards, but as long as we kind of hold above our level here, this would be the level I'm currently treating as our higher low, just because well, I guess this is just the last serious trade range that we had before breaking to the upside. So I'm kind of watching this level. That would be around $20,200, somewhere in there, US dollars, obviously. If we end up dropping that range as well, I mean, I've mapped out a few areas I'm watching, just some diagonal trend lines and stuff. And again, I'd have to see how they're reacted to when we hit those levels. They're just kind of on my radar for now. Obviously, quite a plunge if we drop some of these support levels, just because we didn't really have a whole bunch of trading on the way up on this rally. There's really not a ton of structure to go off of. So this is kind of the main structure that I'm looking at currently, just hoping that we don't drop down back below that level. It's great that we did actually stay above this level here. I was pointing this out as potential resistance to give us trouble here, which it obviously did very briefly, but we were able to break above that. Even this level here, yes, we're struggling at this level now. However, we did have some candle bodies closing above that level. So yeah, I wouldn't be all too surprised if we end up reaching my targets up there. You know, I was calling for around 25K. Just because this would be the lower high that I'm currently watching on the trend, because as I've mentioned in previous videos, I have a low here. We had our lower low here. The highest point between those 2 points is up here, so that's actually where I'm looking for a bit of a rejection, or at least some potential resistance on a very large scale. So definitely just a few levels that I wanted to point out for you guys very quickly. Hopping over to some degenerate time frames, looking at the 5-minute chart. Yeah, like I said, we did have this level back here. Look how well we basically got a perfect double bottom here. I'll actually just change that just very slightly. Yeah, nice little double bottom there. If I bring up the MDX Algo indicators, actually that's very nice as well. You can see that right where the candle bodies were closing. And I mean, this is just a 5-minute, guys. This is very micro analyzing here. But it did come up with this demand zone that it was actually, well, it's been pointing out for quite a while now, probably from somewhere back here. But yeah, this would have been pre-mapped out before we just started this little consolidation here. Again, guys, 5-minute chart, very micro. But it is nice to see that the indicator is agreeing with this level as just some sort of potential support. As well, if you were in a short, it was saying it's probably a good idea to start taking some profits at this level. So if you're into day trading on 5-minute charts and that sort of stuff, yeah, obviously we had this nice dump. Indicators just pointing out, well, these are actually supply zones, but I just basically usually call them resistance, and it automatically maps these out. So super cool. You can see the hourly trend confluence here. That's this line that flips from green to red here. That has flipped bearish. But even if it does end up being bearish, I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if we test up a little bit higher here after getting this bounce at this level. Gonna have to see how that plays out. Obviously have some resistance along the way. And again, this is just very micro analyzing here. But yeah, if you guys like the look of these indicators, I guess most of you who have been following me are well aware that these are the MDX Algo indicators. And yeah, just some very cool features that you can do with them, including getting actual long and short signals, which can be very powerful in a trending market. While we were having these pumps here, it just made some beautiful calls. Where can I go back to? Yeah, basically this whole pump over the last few weeks, I mean, it was giving a bunch of strong long signals. That's basically the trend confluence matching up with the shorter time frame. So yeah, it can be a very powerful thing in a trending market. So super cool, very customizable. I don't always like to have those signals on, but there's a whole bunch of other good stuff like this. Like I said, showing the resistance support without me actually having to do anything is pretty nice when you like to do other things while you're being a degenerate on multiple monitors. So it's pretty cool. I do have a link in the description. There is a 15% discount when you use a referral link. So I'll have one in the description and in the comments down below if that is something that interests you. If it is, be sure to get in touch with the Discord community as well. Super supportive community, a lot of active traders who are very good traders in there. So yeah, there's a lot to learn there as well on top of the indicators. That's just part of the value. The Discord is also great, and there's some fun games in there and that sort of stuff. But yeah, anyways, guys, just wanted to point out those few levels for you earlier. Just a very quick market update there. We're gonna have to see what happens. It does kind of look to me like things are wanting to roll over, especially on like the 4 hour here. But again, we do have these potential support levels. Even on the 4 hour chart here, just bringing up the MDX Algo on the 4 hour, you can see that it's actually agreeing with me down here that this would be a demand zone down here. So showing support basically where I was looking, that 20.3 area somewhere in there. So very close to what I was mapping out as support there. And on top of that, we have the trend confluence, and this is on a 4 hour chart, so I can't remember what time frame this would be based off of, but a greater time frame. So interesting that that trend confluence is starting to line up with this support box down here. So that's very interesting to see as well. So definitely keep that level on your radar, in my opinion. Obviously, none of this has been financial advice. Always do your own research, form your own opinions, do your own back testing and that sort of stuff. But if you did appreciate my take on the market and my opinions, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. As well, follow me on Twitter. I post stuff on there if I don't have time to make a video or whatever. As quite often, I'll just share some random stuff on there, so be sure to follow me there as well. With that, guys, everybody stay safe out there. I'm out, my friends. Peace.